He is here with us this afternoon to share some of his firsthand experiences and vision for change in the Interfraternity Council to rebuild and restructure it, especially through the recruitment process. Please help me give a warm welcome to John Lord.
Hello, everyone. My name is John Lord, and I served as president of the Interfraternity Council in 2018. Now, it's certainly clear to prospective students, current students, and to the public eye that our Penn State Greek community has undergone unprecedented major change over the course of these past 2 years. Today in my speech, I intend to inform you of the dynamics of the change, and I intend to charge you to change your community. First, I'm going to tell you my fraternity story, and then I'll speak on the change, and then finally, I'll challenge you to change. So, why did I join a fraternity? Growing up, my dad always talked about how much his chapter and his brothers meant to him. So when I came to Penn State in August of 2015, I wanted to experience the brotherhood, friendships, and great times that I grew up hearing about. When I went to Rush, I was so excited. I ended up joining Pi Kappa Alpha, and I quickly got engaged. I joined the judicial board and was elected to an executive board position by the end of my freshman year. In November of 2016, I was appointed to the IFC Executive Board as the Vice President for Community Relations. Within that role, I served to bridge the gap between the local state college community and Penn State Greeks. In 2016, I joined the IFC as a sophomore to improve on the fraternity experience. About 3 months into that IFC board's term, Timothy Piazza was hazed and passed away. In February 2017, I realized that we needed to change the fraternity experience. So how do you change something so flawed? How do you change a culture that's so deeply embedded that students go to Old Main to protest parties being taken away? It's certainly not easy, and no one person or entity can do it alone. And there's no set prescription. There's no set answer. There's no set prescription to fix the issues that plague Greek life here at Penn State or across America. But we are at Penn State, and we are and always will be committed to leading. So where do you start? In October of 2017, when I was elected, our Greek community was in shambles. Greek leadership had a contentious relationship with administration. The student organizational conduct system and compliance system was rigid, unrefined, and targeting, and it felt like chapters were being lost seemingly every week. Now, our university conduct offices and compliance offices and our community, we were trying to find the right way forward, but mistakes were being made, and we felt increasing pressure to fix them. Now, before I explain how we evolved, I feel it's necessary for me to explain the complexity of the institution of Greek life in the US. Now, with no exception here at Penn State and across America, Greek life is a complex, multifaceted institution that so many people care about and means so much to so many different people with hundreds of different moving parts and hundreds of different perceptions of those parts. And a key role of the job of IFC president is to be the principal representative to a wide range of stakeholders. I would work with university administration, Pan-Hellenic, the conduct office, housing corporations, local government, the list goes on. So now, within the context of the challenge and of the stakeholders, I strove to do 3 major things. 1, restructure the IFC. 2, build trust and confidence, create partnerships. And 3, innovate and implement progressive policies. Now, the first thing we needed to do was restructure. Within the first 2 weeks of being elected, the IFC took 2 major steps towards internal improvement. The first thing we did was create the Internal Audit Committee. This is a new branch of the IFC meant to serve 3 purposes. 1, audit the organization. Make sure that the structure of the organization is right for dealing with the contemporary issues of our community. 2, provide a general member's perspective on things. Kind of get a pulse for the Greek community, how things really are. And then 3, forecast potential threats and create a deliverable of recommendations to the IFC Executive Board. The second major thing we did was add a new executive board position. This is the Vice President for Civic Responsibility. This is the first time an entire position was dedicated to tackling issues that plague Greek life and all of college life, such as sexual assault awareness and prevention, alcohol and substance abuse awareness and prevention, member safety, and mental health awareness. Like I said, this is the first time an entire position was dedicated for this. And it led to an increase in accountability. Alec Gucci, the 2018 vice president, did an amazing job. I'm going to talk about 2 major things that he did. One of them, the Penn State IFC created a policy that mandates that a member be sober and certified in CPR and first aid trained at every single social event. This is the first IFC policy of its nature across the nation. The second major thing is we doubled the amount of chapter participation in Greeks Care. Greeks Care is a 6-week-long sexual assault awareness education program that's run peer-to-peer, and that's something I'm really proud of. And continuing along, later in the semester, the IFC continued with restructuring. We added a vice president for new membership. So instead of the vice president for recruitment just focusing on recruitment and rush, the Vice President of New Membership now focuses on the new member education piece of it. And right now, the 2019 board with that position are working on some really cool, new, innovative things. The second major step was to build trust and confidence and create partnerships. Like I said earlier, we recognize that no one can fix Greek life alone. We recognize that partnership was necessary. We scheduled monthly meetings with Damon Sims, the Vice President for Student Affairs. I sat down with President Barron, discussed Greek life, and got his perspective on things. The IFC Vice Presidents for Standards had bi-weekly meetings with the Office of Compliance and Conduct. And in those meetings, they talked about how we could make sure that our community was following expectations and that those offices were operating efficiently and effectively. The IFC and Panhellenic partnered together for National Hazing Prevention Week. Together, we raised over $8,500 for the Piazza's anti-hazing organization and enlisted over 1,100 students to sign an anti-hazing pledge. Currently, the IFC is collaborating with Center Helps to create new policy where all new members will be proactively trained in alcohol safety. Now, the third major step was to build off the first two and innovate and implement progressive new policies. Now, I already talked about a couple of them, such as the Center Helps and the new member education. But beyond that, we did a lot of really cool, new, interesting things, such as the IFC voted to instill a social moratorium during all first-year student recruitment. This is the first policy of its kind at Penn State, yielded some really positive results. The IFC revamped and modernized a community-wide standards process. The IFC and the Conduct and Compliance Office, we co-authored new social expectations. The IFC also created a Greek life case competition to crowdsource for new ideas and drive member engagement. And lastly, the IFC launched the Be the Change campaign, based off of Gandhi's quote. We recognize that every single member of a fraternity has an opportunity and a responsibility to help move the community forward. And as Director of Greek Life Steve Velkamp says, it takes a village. And this was our way to recruit and empower that village. I'm extremely proud of the things that we were able to accomplish in 2018. Our Greek community has regained stability, established a new normal, and is growing. The year-over-year recruitment numbers have doubled in fall 2017 to fall 2018. There's been a sharp decrease in dangerous drinking-related incidents, and there's been a sharp reduction in complaints from the surrounding neighborhood. Through these 2 years, I've recognized these things about change. Change takes time, change takes persistence, and change takes commitment to that change. Now, I've also recognized that the policies, the restructuring, and the partnerships, they've made a tremendous difference over these past few years. But it would be naive to think that they fix everything. The Penn State Greek community right now is far from perfect. But there's new Greek leadership continuing to improve, and the Greek community is continuing to improve. But it doesn't fall solely on Greek leadership or university administration to move the community forward. In fact, the most sustainable and the most effective way of change comes from the grassroots, comes from the people. So the next step is to focus on recruitment. My challenge for change for the Penn State Greek community is to recruit better people. Now, when I say better people, I'm talking about the type of person who joins an organization to make it better, the type of person who puts in more than they know they're going to get out, the type of person who seeks to live the values and the mission of the organization, and the type of person who wants to make their community a better place. This change must continue, and the most sustainable and the most effective way to ensure that it does is through recruiting the right people. So my challenge for change, I challenge the Penn State Greek community to change how you think, perceive, and act as you recruit the next generation of Penn State Greeks. And through these past 2 years, I've recognized that the only way that you can make your work live on beyond your time is to recruit the right people to continue it. If you care about your organization, and if you care about Penn State, recruit the right people. The actions of the people that join your organization are the actions of the organization. And the character of the people that join your organization is the character of your organization. Now, the most tangible and the most sustainable way for us as a community to continue to progress, develop, and lead the national Greek change is for you, the members of the fraternities and the sororities, to recruit the right people. It is both a huge responsibility and an empowering charge, but I trust you. Thank you.